We should be going live.
Got it.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and potential Toastmasters. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. We're about 8 minutes late today, and that's because of a technical glitch that happened with getting us posted on Facebook. But we are with you, and we are live on Facebook, ready to go. My name is Ken Richardson. I am your new Program Quality Director as of July 1st. So I'm very pleased to be here with you, and my co-host today is Phyllis Tribby, Distinguished Toastmaster and past District Governor. How are you doing, Phyllis?
Good morning, Ken, and good morning to our public out there. I am doing fine. Waiting for you. Take care of all of our problems so we can be live on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, everything looks good.
We're expecting comments. Even if you say you missed us, that would be a comment, please.
Yes, please say you do miss us. That would be fantastic. You were looking for a Wake Up with Toastmasters, and we were nowhere to be found, and here we are. Suddenly, we are back. And what happened this morning was just we didn't have, unbeknownst, we've never had this problem again, but we got it solved thanks to some quick phone calls. And we got all the right passwords and everything pointing in the right direction. So anyway, today we want to talk about the upcoming International Convention. And I want to spend some time with you, our viewers today, showing you just where you can find information about things that are going to be on the agenda. You can find the agenda and talk about some of the proposals for the upcoming Toastmasters year. As most of you know, the president, the club president, and the club secretary carry votes at the business meeting for Toastmasters International. Now, it's pretty common for mostly to have the proxy given to the district director, and I think that's the more usual course. And I'm not sure how this year they're going to set it up. I haven't received anything on that. I do know, however, that they will have a hybrid option for the meeting. So you'll be able to attend parts of it, and certainly that would include the business portion. So Phyllis, how many conventions have you attended?
10 maybe.
Wow.
No, maybe more. But you know, that was part of the lifestyle. I started back, I suppose, when I was the district officer. So I went to Calgary, which was the first one that I attended. And then after that, you get so that you want to go because you get to see people that you don't get to see other than once a year, as my people from Hawaii, from Florida. So it gets to be almost like a rehashing around of new friends and old friends, and you get to visit, and the educationals, and you want to know who's going to be in charge of Toastmasters International. So it's the elections and getting to meet each one of those people that are going to be on the board. So it's very interesting and highly recommended.
Well, I've only been to two. And one of those, one in person and one hybrid. Of course, last year, we didn't have in person as an option. Mm-hmm. It was all Zoom. Excuse me. But when the meeting was held in Las Vegas a few years back, even though I volunteered and was a volunteer helper, I spent a lot of time at the information booth telling people what was going on in Vegas. It was still a great experience. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start, I'm going to show folks where to find some really good stuff. There we go. Now you should be looking at the Toastmasters website, and you can see that it's got the notice on there. There's the coronavirus update and Storytellers Unite. Well, that is the registration link to get you there. But before we do that, I'm going to show you another way to get information that you probably want to have, and that's to go under the Events tab. If you see the Events tab up in the upper right corner next to the shop. Click on that and go over to the left and click on the 2022 convention. And I'll show you why this is a good way to really get started. Here you will have the registration option, but if you look at this menu here, what I think you'll want to start with is the agenda. So you click on that and you can see it starts on August 17th and goes through the 20th. So Wednesday the 17th is your first day. And there's a little key here that you can sort of plan what you want to attend. And this tells you if it's red, it's in person. If it's AA, it's an all access pass. And with that, that will get your Zoom link as well. And I'll show you how to find that. And then LA is limited pass. So most of the days that follow are going to have some similar offerings, but they will also have some variations I want to show you, particularly on Thursday, which is the business meeting. So you can go online, as I mentioned, you can watch, and that goes live at 8 a.m. and that's Central Time, which is Central Daylight Time, which is a couple of hours ahead of us folks on the West Coast, but that's the time in Nashville, Tennessee. And what you see here, we're going to have some educational opportunities, of course. There are several presentations and classes that you can attend. There's a public speaking track, a professional development track, an inclusive excellence track, and personal growth track. So these are educationals that you can sign up for starting on day one that will help enhance your Toastmasters journey. You can read about these. There's a lot of information here, so we won't have time to go over everything, but I want to make sure people know where to find the information that they will likely find helpful. So this gives you the when things open, the registration desk, the marketplace, which is where you can go buy really cool stuff, and accessibility. Then there's a board of directors briefing, and you can sit in on that and hear updates about the vision and strategies for the future. First timers gathering, just like we have a first timers gathering at our conference each year. At the convention, you'll find a first timers gathering. Then there's a leadership session. Opening ceremonies actually start in the evening at around 7 p.m. With a keynote presentation and then a reception. So that's your first day, and you can just click on these tabs. I hope everyone can see the tabs back up at the top that are organized by day. So that's August 17th, which is when the convention officially opens. Here's the 18th, the Thursday. Again, you've got the very same educational tracks. So you might want to, take one each day and go to something different, of course. And then what I want to get to here, there's a public speaking track, a marketplace again, the candidate showcase. This year's candidates for international office. So we had one meeting, our one show a while back, Phyllis, where we showed folks where to find that, and it's actually in this area as well. You can look up who are the candidates running for international offices. And there's a bunch, let's see. Now, this is the other part that folks, I think, who are in person are going to be interested in. Of course, the World Championship of Public Speaking is on the Saturday, the closing day of the conference. But there are semifinal contests that are throughout the day, semifinal 1 and 2, then a speaker showcase, then 3 and 4. So you have an opportunity to sit in on some of the best speeches available within Toastmasters. These are the folks who are in the semifinal round, and there's a list of who that is and where they're from. And we'll show you that. It's 2 people really from each region. And then the contest, the International Contest Showcase. more educationals, and then the Hall of Fame event. This is where you celebrate, like we are going to have a Hall of Fame event. This is where you celebrate educational achievement for our members throughout the district. In this case, throughout international, some of the notable successes and accomplishment. So that's the second day. And I think for me, the most exciting thing is being able to listen to these speeches. I love the talent that is displayed at these speeches. Do you have a favorite event, Phyllis?
Well, yeah, I'm sure that it's probably like everyone else.
Oops.
They want to see the contest. They want to see what the top 10 usually have to say and how you can watch them and improve your own speaking skills. What did they add? How did they add it? What kind of gestures did they use with each one of their sentences? Where did they pause? So there's a lot to be learned just by watching someone that's made it to the top 10. I don't know. After that has to be the educationals. These people are semi-professional and some of them are professional. They're being paid. They just didn't pick names out of a basket. The people that are presenting these educationals actually asked to be performers and submitted information, their qualifications, and their speech. So we have got the pick of who is available to speak. And it's, it's nice to be able to do that for the one price that you pay to go to the international convention.
It is amazing, and you're right. I mean, these are the cream of the crop, the best of the best, and it's just a terrific opportunity for to learn something. I want to go back and mention to our little menu across the top here, the semifinals, and this is where you can find who will be competing. So if you click on the semifinals option, it's going to give you a little introduction on the semifinals. And then here are the competitors and how they are organized to compete against each other. Semifinal 1 and 2. Now we are Region 2, so we have a representative, Surajay, I can't say the last name, Venkataswaran from District 4. And then we have one other, so that's in semifinal 2. And then our other representative is Harriet Brown from District 52. So you'll find that on the far left is which semifinal are they competing in. The next column tells you which region they are representing, and then the contestant's name. So that is all under that tab on the events. I'm going to go back to that for a minute. That's this little menu options up here. We looked at the agenda. We looked at some semifinals. ABM is annual business meeting. We talked about that. So let me click on that. And here's an overview of what the leadership roles are, what the proposals are, which we'll take a quick look at in a moment. And up here, there's another little menu. So that's the overview. This is voting on board members, international directors, and these proposals. Your role, if you click on that, it's going to tell you what role you have, district leaders, club officers, and we talked about this a little bit. One of the things that I encourage you to do is to take a look at this, make sure you understand the process, and here it tells you the club president or club secretary is responsible for assigning the proxy. And typically that's done, it's assigned to the district director, and then you can find other information about district leaders and international, and then the voting process itself under this tab on what you need to do. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but basically the club designates a proxy holder typically that's, not typically, but the voting right rests with the president and secretary, which is different from our local district council, where the voting members are the president and the VP of education. So the proxy completes credentialing and then casts the votes on behalf of the club. So that is really a quick overview of how that looks. And you can, of course, explore any of these options down here, leadership roles, but one of the ones you'll probably want to take a look at that we've been talking about are the proposals. And you click on that, and you're going to be taken to yet another menu of options that's going to talk about the proposals. Now, again, we won't have time to go over all of them. I think they're about 12 or 15. But I want our viewers to understand how to find these and what is important for them to take a look at. So it talks about making your voice heard. And then I want to draw some attention. There's an active link at the end of this paragraph on frequently asked questions. And what that will take you to is a little summary, questions like, why is this proposal being presented at this time, and what have you. So we'll take a look at that if we have opportunity a little later. And I don't want to go through all of these because this would take we could spend the whole day. But the most important thing here is to make our members aware of how to find this information. So Proposal A deals with some cleaning up of the language in our bylaws. Proposal B is a simple restatement. Many of these are very simple kinds of things. And Proposal C is more inclusive language for gender. We're going to be adding some of the things that have been added in many states, adding the phrases gender identity and gender expression for greater exclusivity. Now, what I want to do, let's see, I think there are about 8 or 10 proposals, and I want to show you how to access some of the details in a little PDF. At the bottom of each proposal is a little statement that says to view the full text, click here. So if you just click on that, what's going to come up, and I know this is going to intimidate people, this is a 44-page PDF that describes in almost painful detail all of these proposals, and they're sort of color coded, and it goes down to Proposal F, and the colors tell you. So I'm just going to scroll down here and take a look. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Proposal L, it goes all the way to L. I'm just going to show you what this looks like. So this is Proposal 1, and it is in this green color, greenish, bluish color. And you can see it's fairly straightforward. So it presents for you the bylaws, and then in this color tells you what's being changed. So there's like communication, including blah, 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 et cetera. And you can go through and you will get every change that is being proposed throughout the meeting. So this is really, really a useful tool for folks who are struggling with understanding what it is that the board is trying to do. You have any comments about this, Phyllis?
This is why we give our voting rights to the district director. Yes, we need to know these things, but there's few people that have the time nor the inclination to sit here and read each and every item that's on the list. I think reinstatement, Proposal B, yeah, maybe there is something that you are really, truly interested in and want to know how it's going to be stated, like Proposal C. And you might go into detail and read everything that they're saying and how they're going to reword it. And, does it fit with your outlook on how things should be? Does it really fit? And I would say that most of these proposals, like everything else in Toastmasters International, has been voted on by our board of directors. And that's 2 people from each region. So what is that? 28 people that have looked this over, read it carefully, are sure that they are saying it correctly. But yeah, read it over. Find the one that really is interesting to you. And the other item is I'm looking at the actual articles and I'm thinking, I am the operations chair. Am I going to have to take my operations book for District 115 and compare it with each one of the new articles that they have to be sure that our manual compares favorably with everything that International is saying?
I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, I think it is. And I thought, well, not until the fall meeting to be sure that we match, so that if there are changes, I could put them forth to our own committee, be sure they agree with what changes have been made to our manual so that it matches that manual. So we'll work it out.
Well, the nice thing, Phyllis, if you go in and download that PDF I just showed you, that will make your life a whole lot easier. The other thing, I do want to go back to this for a moment here to take people through the frequently asked questions just as an example, because they're the 2 components that are important to understanding the proposals, the changes to the bylaws that impact every club and international. That sheet I just showed you, the PDF, you can download that 44-page thing that just goes through and crosses out what's being deleted and puts in what's being added or changed. The other thing, of course, are frequently asked questions. And at the top of this page that we got to through the menu under events on the agenda is you click on frequently asked questions, and it will take you to this page. Remember, we talked about how robust the website is. There's so much information, and I'm hoping that by going through this, you and I doing this on a show here will help our members to navigate a little bit easier the pathway to understanding what's happening with our organization. When you get to this, it's going to start out with some introductory things about it. Where can I find more information? Who can I contact? All of that. But what I really wanted to show folks are the questions that come up frequently that the board has already prepared an answer, so it's going to make your life easier. Now, this may not be comprehensive in that it won't include every possible question in the world about a given issue, but it will give you some really good information. Most of them start, what's the purpose of this, or what's the proposed, this is consistency and clarity, reinstatement, that kind of thing. What's the intent? What's the purpose? I'm going to go down here to the inclusive language because I think this has a really good, easy to grasp explanation, and it should serve as a model for our viewers who want to explore these proposals. So when you click on it, there's a little drop down. The purpose of the proposal, usually a 1 or 2 sentences, is to bring TI, their non-discrimination clauses, into alignment with federal and state changes, and to provide greater inclusivity. So I think that just says it all. It's very simple. Isn't gender expression a subset of gender identity? Why is it listed separately? This I really liked. Again, these are simple explanations of why this is important to include in our bylaws and what it actually means. Gender identity is a person's internal sense of gender, while gender expression is how a person publicly presents them. And I did look it up. in Nevada state law, and our state law includes non-discrimination based on gender identity and gender expression. So I think this is a good update. And then when will it take effect? If adopted, it will take effect immediately. Not all of those are like that, but my point here is this is where you can go to find some terrific information. I know it's a little dry. And probably the people who care the most are operations chairpersons around the districts around the world. But for our members, I think it's really good. I'm gonna stop sharing here. Well, I thought, there we go.
There is so many proposals.
Yes.
They all have to be looked at by operations, I am sure.
And as I said, I freely admit that these are fairly dry issues. Nevertheless, they are very important issues, and all leaders, district, club leaders, and what have you, should at least browse. Maybe not read everything in detail, but take a look at that. And again, my recommendation is to go to that PDF because it puts everything, to me, in context within so it shows you the existing language and what the changes, where they fit in, and how it's going to read going forward. So I think that's probably one of the best documents for that purpose. So,
well, it should answer all questions throughout the club and the district. If you don't know the answer, it should be written down in the articles. So
yes.
Those proposals are to help us answer questions from our members.
Exactly. Now, we didn't explore like the registration tab. That's pretty straightforward. It just tells you it's a little pricey. It's about $6.75, I think, for in-person. If you're going to attend, it's $45 online. And of course, if you're going to attend in person, there are going to be costs like the hotel, the airplane to get there. I don't think anybody's going to want to drive. Although at one point I did talk to my wife about it because that's the part of the country that I'm from. Louisville, Kentucky is just up the road. It's a relatively short drive, a few hours. So we thought about taking the car, driving, and then we saw the gas prices. So anyway, we're going to fly. But under those other tabs, just go into TI, then go under events, and pull up the 2022 convention. And that's where you'll find that menu that gives you all of those options, looking at the agenda, looking at the proposals, looking at the board, the whole 9 yards, to use a cliche, will be there, and you'll be able to explore every bit of it, and you will be extremely knowledgeable about what's going on at the convention.
And I would recommend, if at all possible, you want to be at the hotel wherever the convention is. Having to walk there from another hotel is not a fun thing, especially in that Louisville in the August. I am sure
that's Nashville in August.
Will be 99%.
That's Nashville in August, but you're right. That whole area of the Ohio Valley has a very high humidity rate, and it'll be something that most of us are not used to. It'd definitely be probably well above 50-60%. So it's going to feel very, very different when you're in Nashville. And that hotel, the Gaylord, is a hotel that I happen to have previously attended a meeting. It's been many, many years, but it's one of the larger hotels outside of Las Vegas. I think it has about 2,000 rooms, if I'm not mistaken. It is a beautiful hotel. Of course, the prices everywhere has gone up. We talked about that a little bit. Pricing for hotel rooms, pricing for airfare, of course, gasoline, food, you name it, it's all going up. So be prepared for a little bit of sticker shock. And then once you recover and you can hopefully find a way to attend, hopefully in person, but if not, maybe online. That is $45 for all access to pretty much everything, and you get to stay home. So hopefully this show has given you an opportunity to see what the convention is going to look like and where, that's the important thing, where to find more information. Because we've talked before about the fact that a lot of our members don't spend time exploring the website. Many of them don't have the time. But when you do have a specific purpose, like an upcoming convention with lots of proposals, this is the way to do it. Anything else, Phyllis, before we sign off and say thank you to our audience? Sorry for our technical issues getting signed in, but
we're sorry we're late, but TLI, this Saturday night, this will be your last opportunity and your Zoom opportunity. So
absolutely.
Please, if you have not trained for your officer position, this is the time.
Yes, you will. You can go to another district who may have an online training, but you really need to get this taken care of. It's going to help your club. So this Saturday at 6 p.m. and it's normally what would be educational enrichment night. I planned to put it there so that people already hopefully are accustomed to spending their time online on the second Saturday. So please join us. If you have any questions, you can send an email to me. I'm getting a new email. I don't have it quite set up yet, but d115pqd@gmail, and that will actually go still, I think, to Jean, but she'll let me know what's in there that I need to get to. We're just in the process of transitioning. So thank you for joining us this morning, and we will see you again. Now on Thursday is going to be the debut of our new Club Growth Director, Scott Transu. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.